Connor Muldowney joins the show. That's right. We're going to hit on some recruiting news right at the top, but in segments 2 and 3, we got some hypotheticals for Connor. Like, hey, is he going to accept first row tickets on the 50-yard line? But with a small caveat, that and more coming up. Let's go.
Our Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Spartan friends, Spartan family, Locked On Spartans listeners, thank you so much for joining us here on the Locked On Spartans program. I am your host, Matt Sheehan, but not the only one joining you and your eardrums today. We are joined by the strapping gentleman over here. Yes, it's Connor Muldowney, friend of the program. I will let him talk eventually. But first, hey, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment matter more. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn today to get started. Connor, it's been a minute, man, a hot minute. I'm sorry it's been so long, actually. How you've been, though, just as a state fan in the last few weeks, months, or just your whole life, really?
You asked how I've been, and then you threw in as a state fan, and then I rethought everything that I was going to say. I don't know.
Two different questions, yeah.
How have I been? I've been great. How have I been as a state fan? Teetering on the brink of insanity, probably, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the best
so
spot.
We're at baseline. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So everything's going according to plan here. That's awesome. We're going to have some fun in this show because, look, this is just a fan-to-fan conversation. It's a slow week for Michigan State. No question about that. We got 6 days between games. Yes, there's signing day coming up on Wednesday, but not much to do about that. There is one piece of recruiting information we want to get out there. But first, Connor, I got to just set up a little anecdote right here. And like most children in life, I got some genes sent down for me from my parents, and many of them good, I like to think. Some of them maybe unfortunate. And my father, great guy, love my dad, he's awesome, has this incredible ability of jinxing everything. Like, he could tell me, Matt, tomorrow morning I'm going to get up and watch the sunrise. And I would go to bed thinking that, okay, the world's going to end in the middle of the night. He has jinxed life events. He has jinxed sporting events. He's jinxed everything. Connor, on yesterday's show, we talked about Chimdy Onoh, the 4-star offensive tackle, undecided. He's going to announce between Michigan State, Penn State, Ole Miss on signing day on Wednesday. Connor, I kid you not, less than 20 minutes after we published the YouTube video where we talked about how elite his commitment would make Michigan State's offensive line class, crystal balls start pouring in for Penn State. So with that said, don't expect 4-star Chimdy Onoh to commit to Michigan State. No, crystal balls aren't the end all be all, but they have an incredible track record. So yeah, like I think I got the jinxing ability from my dad, because Lord knows, and the listener knows, this isn't the first time we've done something like this on this show. Do you also just have a jinxing ability? Or do you believe in that sort of stuff, or are you a healthy person, Connor?
Oh, I go through stretches where anything I say, the exact opposite happens. But then I'll go through stretches where I predict like damn near everything, and it doesn't make any sense. So like I'm an inconsistent jinxer, I would say.
Okay, sounds like you're a great gambler though. Like your hot days, like my
hot days are great. My cold days are like I want to go to sleep and like not wake up.
Okay, yeah, just something light like that. There we go. No, I think my best jinx of the year was I don't know if you remember the Michigan State Indiana football game from this year. Probably not. I think we've all blocked it out of our memory, but. It's halftime. I text a buddy. I'm like, hey, I'm eating some Little Caesars pizza right now. Michigan State's having a drama-free win to get to a bowl game. I'm having the best Saturday of all time. And you could connect the dots for the next 2 hours. The Little Caesars still slapped, but the game not. So
that's a hell of a jinx.
Yeah, you like that one? Yeah, and that's just old hat for me.
Yeah.
Over here.
You probably said the same thing in the Illinois game in 2019.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I did. I was having the time of my life, and then I remember being in the concourse and watching the TV of them completing that Hail Mary before halftime, being like, all right, well, that's not going to matter. Like, it's a good thing. That's not going to hurt us in any way, shape, or form. And then, fast forward a few hours later, and Daniel Barker scoring his first touchdown in Spartan Stadium. And, yeah.
My dad kind of has the same genes, though, where he he
It's
can
great,
do.
isn't it?
He was the guy that was known for leaving games early. So my
perfect.
best memory of the leaving game early would have been, I think it was like 2002 or something. We were playing Notre Dame at home. Jeff Smoker connected with Herb Haygood on a 4th and 10 to for like an 80-yard touchdown with a minute left to win the game. And we were watching it from the ramp on the way out of the stadium because he wanted to leave.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's great.
No, and this might put a bounty on my dad's head. So sorry, Dad, that people might be knocking on your door tonight after hearing this. But 2014, Elite Eight against UConn, Michigan State's up, 7 or 8 points at halftime. He was at my sister's softball game, close to his place of work. He goes to his office, books flights to Dallas for the Final Four, comes back. Yeah, we all know what happened after that. So, like, you want to know the power that this man can hold in his hands when it comes to jinxing abilities. There it is right there. And unfortunately, sometimes it tracks to the Locked On Spartans YouTube show and podcast, your team every single day, 5 days a week here. So yeah, that's the news, the recruiting news to get to. Chimdy Onoh, yeah, I wouldn't count on him. Philip Darius still looking good to commit on Wednesday. But beyond that, a slow week. How are you feeling? Let's just get a temperature check right now from you, Connor, really quick on this basketball season. I don't know if you want to do it like grade-wise, the old lazy talking head version of asking how a season's going, or if you just want to spew your feelings on a therapy couch right now with how things are going.
Oh man, I feel like my feelings change weekly with this team.
Okay.
Like 2 weeks ago, we lost to Illinois, but it was like we were in the game. We probably controlled 80% of it.
Yeah.
Paul got hurt. I can live with that. And then we go and we lose to Purdue by a point, and you're just like, that was a potentially season defining win. Like you win that game, you're probably ranked the next week. You're probably a lock to make the tournament. I don't think that they'll have trouble getting in the tournament or anything, but that was the win that, like, you look back on, you're like, 1 point, all you had to do was make sure Zach Edey didn't catch the ball or do something with it. Force someone else to shoot.
Well, here we are.
I think Gary put 3 guys on him in that situation. Make sure he's not catching the ball within 5 feet of the hoop.
In the timeout, get Davis Smith, put him on Mady Sissoko's shoulders, just so they're one guy, so you're essentially playing with 4 players, but one of them is just an 8'9" guy, and then just roll the dice from there.
I don't think there's a rule against that.
No, and if there is, then the refs will probably miss it. So like just roll the dice anyway.
At least have Davis Smith in there like biting his kneecaps or something on the way to the hoop.
Yeah, getting scrapped. Yeah, an ode to John Chaney, the old Temple head coach. Get a player in there to, quote, rough them up.
Oh, yeah.
It won't go well in the press the following week or month or really the rest of his career maybe, but if not for nothing, you got to win against a top 3 team. So I don't know. You can take the pros and cons there, in my opinion.
I see
it has been a very emotionally just roller coaster ish season here, and almost like by like the media timeouts, like the first 4 minutes of every state game is usually you're watching MSU go down 8 or 10 points immediately, and then from minutes 16 to 4 in the first half, it's like, oh my god, this team is a top 3 seed in March. Like, this is great. The boys are looking hot, but it's volatile. But you know what? I end every basketball conversation with this. At least it's fun to watch for the most part this year. I know that doesn't sound right coming off of Sunday's game, but look, it's not a team where it's just 5 guys staring at the other one, wondering who's going to get something done when the boys are in trouble. So, that's
stress-free wins are a little overrated. Like
I think so.
We've had 1 stress-free win, 2 stress-free wins in the Big Ten, and that's it.
Which ones? Are you counting the Rutgers one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were probably stressed. I'm sure you were stressed. You're like, 13 points is not enough.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm just not a healthy person. Like I'm just mentally unwell. So yeah, if it's a 15-point game with 30 seconds left, like I'm still like, I don't know. I feel like I've seen like a highlight from 1981 where an NBA team did this and got it close. So like, yeah, I just
or Portland earlier this year.
God, Portland. Oh God, I just felt this sharp.
What was it, like 12 points with a minute left, and we won by a point?
Yeah, it was fine. They had it the whole time. It was a-okay. Oh my God, great memories right
or
there.
Villanova.
Look out for
Villanova was a good one.
No, yeah, I turned that game off with 3 minutes left. It was fine.
The jinx strikes again.
Yeah, you like that one? Yeah, right.
All right.
Yeah, there you have it. So, Connor, we got some hypotheticals here. It's an old game that we've played on here. I like to just call it, but. And we're going to do that here in a hot segment. First, I got to say goodbye to you, and it pains me to do this, but I got to talk to people's ear off about FanDuel Sportsbook. We're talking about the best in the business at the best time of the year to find the best in the business. We are really excited about our new sports betting partner for Locked On. We're talking FanDuel, the #1 sportsbook in America. And if you're new to FanDuel, that's even better. They have so many great features that make betting on sports fun and easy. Download FanDuel now so you can bet on Super Bowl 57 with a no-sweat first bet. You'll get up to $3,000 back in bonus bets on your first bet if it doesn't win. FanDuel, they let you bet on everything from the money line to point spreads, who's going to score a touchdown. They got all sorts of props for the big game coming up next Sunday. So, download FanDuel. What are you waiting for? It's safe, secure, super easy to use, and best of all, you get paid on your winnings instantly. You are not waiting around for days at a time, waiting for Mr. FanDuel to pay you out. He is giving you the cash immediately. So join FanDuel today at FanDuel.com/lockedon to claim your no-sweat first bet on Super Bowl 57. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Now let's get Connor Muldowney back in the mix. Connor Muldowney of Spartan Avenue, Spartan Shadow. What don't you do, Connor? You are a consummate pro at creating content.
My brain is melting every day trying to come up with content, but it's a good time. Yeah, trying to come up with Michigan State content for Spartan Ave and then Michigan State content for Spartan Shadows. That's different. There's nothing going on, so.
Yeah. It is. Hey, that's how we get the Connor Meltdowny moniker right there, because his brain is melting into a pile of just silly putty. Poor guy. But hey, we're with you for another like 15-ish minutes here, so let's try to squeeze some more out of that noggin of yours. This is a game called But. Now, we've played this a few times. It's been a while, but I'm going to give you a nice scenario. But, of course, it comes with a but and a not-so-nice punchline. So, Connor, are you ready to play? But...
Sure.
Okay, we're good. Okay, I can sense enthusiasm over here. It is radiating. Connor, we're going to start with maybe an easy one. All right, we're just going to wean our way into this, step into the kiddie pool, and then maybe get into the deep end here in a little bit. But first, hey, Connor, MSU gets to a Final Four this year. All right, they get to Houston. How nice does that sound? But
oh boy,
sorry, I didn't even let you.
I was like, yes, please.
Yeah, but Malik Hall and Tyson Walker do not come back the following season. What do you take? Do you still take this road to Houston where it ends in the Final Four? But that means Malik Hall, Tyson Walker, no shot of returning next year. What do you do?
Well, quick question. Does that mean, like, if they don't make it that far, they do come back? Is that the...
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, as a State fan, like, our luck would be we don't make it there and they don't come back. But I would take that. I think I would take it. I would like to see both of them back. At least one of them would be massive. But
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to turn down a Final Four trip.
Yeah.
Hard to turn that down.
Yes.
Like, this team is good enough to play with anybody. We've seen that. But are they good enough to win a national title? I don't know. I feel like this is the kind of year that a 5 or 6 seed wins it all. Like, just crazy field. Anybody can win. So I take that because I think that if you put State in the Final Four, they can beat anybody. So, yeah, I take that.
I like that one too, and I think that was an easy one. I think you'll see 90% of people agree with that. But like, there is a lot of hype and juju building up to next year. I mean, Hogard comes back, senior AJ Hogard. I mean, tell me that doesn't have a Final Four run ring to it. Now, what if I did this? How about Elite 8 this year, but Malik Hall and Tyson Walker don't come back? Does that move the needle for you at all, or are you going to say, no, screw it, roll the dice, give me Malik and Tyson back next year if it's just an Elite 8?
Well, if it's an Elite 8, they're not winning at all. So then no.
Okay.
I mean, if it's a Final Four, anything could happen in the Final Four. So
yeah.
I don't know. No.
Okay. I like that. Just something to wet the whistle. Just a little simple one right there. Connor, we're gonna stick with basketball right here. MSU is having some issues in their front court this year. So, you know what? Xavier Tillman is getting a little bored playing for the Memphis Grizzlies in the NBA. So he's actually going to come back for the rest of the season. We're talking regular season, Big Ten tournament, and March Madness. How great does that sound? I mean, do you agree with the stipulations right there?
I'm in.
But, Connor, you have to take every free throw attempt for Michigan State the rest of the season. Not just Tillman's free throws. Every single free throw that Michigan State attempts, you are being sent to the line to shoot. But hey, you got Xavier Tillman on your team. Do you take this deal?
Yes.
That was confident. What do you shoot from the free throw stripe? Hold on here.
As a young person, I won 2 free throw championships at basketball camps. So
whoa!
I mean, like, I'm taking. I probably can't shoot that well anymore, but like if I shoot 50%, I feel like we have a fighting shot.
Wow. Okay. What is helping you here is that MSU, has not been getting to the free throw line a ton. And I think they would know that they have to keep that strategy up of never getting to the line. If you're just taking off the warm-ups every time there's a whistle. Right. Yeah. No driving. We are going to take long twos. We're actually going to take more long twos than we've ever had before. Yes. Or just finding Tillman on a pick and roll, and just going for
we love long twos. That is the jet sweep of basketball.
I just I don't know what's going to kill me first. Just like MSU inadvertently stepping out of bounds once a game or shooting 4 twos with their foot on the line here. I can't believe that was a quick answer. But then again, you have the street cred with it of the 2 championships.
I do have 2 championships under my belt. That was admittedly probably 15 to 20 years ago. So
it's like riding a bike. It's fine.
Yeah. You just shoot, you stand there, you shoot, you move on. Like it's whatever. There might be a little different scenario because there's a huge crowd there, but it's whatever.
That's the thing. Who would you be more nervous shooting in front of? Would it be a road crowd, like Mackey Arena? Or I guess, you know what? We're doing the rest of this schedule. So like Chrysler Center or wherever they call Nebraska. Like, I guess there's no real crazy road venues. Iowa might be a little tough. Or would it be tougher shooting in front of a Breslin crowd where there's 14 to 16,000 people rooting for you that you're about to let down in front of their face? Like, because that's where
it would be tougher because they're all silent. You need a little noise. You need noise.
Yeah. So would you pump the crowd up before your free throw? Because it gets crazy silent. Yeah.
Yeah. Like everybody pop the bag right before I shoot, like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes. Well, because like let's say because I'm not doing this. I will not be shooting free throws. I will airball more than I make. I guarantee it. But you missed the first one, and there's gonna be some clamoring. Like is that enough white noise? Like when people start looking to their buddy next to them, being like, "What the hell is this guy?" Like that wasn't even close. Like, do you think that clamoring's enough, or does it have to be a full on like crowd roar for your free throws?
Just talk amongst yourselves kind of thing. That would be great.
Okay.
Like, I don't need you like screaming in my face or anything, but
okay.
I feel like a road environment, everybody wants you to miss. Everybody's assuming you're going to miss. So if you make it, then it's just, it's great.
Okay. Wow. I love it. Is there, actually, do you know what? I'm going off script right here. You get to add 1 pro to Michigan State this year. Who are you going with? Is it Tillman? Is it going to be Jaren Jackson? Do you like yourself some Draymond Green? Like who are you adding to this team? From the NBA.
Draymond would be great for leadership, but like other than that, like defense obviously is great, but I feel like Jaren brings defense and offense, and he's just a freak.
Yeah.
And unguardable. We need someone unguardable like Zach Edey. So I would go with Jaren, I think.
I'm going Jaren too.
He's like that one player that you just wish that State had for one more year just to see how good he could be, but yeah.
I also just want Draymond, obviously great leader and everything, but like I do wonder the chemistry. What would it look like between Draymond and like AJ Hoggard?
Oh my God.
I feel like that'd be like an atom splitting at times, where like maybe one pushes the other's buttons a little too hard, and that just causes turmoil for a game. Like the other 7 games, I think would just be outstanding, but like that one game would like. Maybe like another fight in the huddle. I don't know. It could go south quickly. Where I feel like maybe Jaren just being like a mild-mannered guy. He just does his work in the game. I don't know. I feel like that's the way to go.
You're saying Draymond wouldn't like AJ Hoggard's body language after tossing a pass right out of bounds?
It might get a little testy in the huddle after that, yeah. Or maybe they won't even wait till the huddle to just start swinging on each other. But you know what? But you know what? You could bet the next 5 games after that happens, MSU is not just they're going to cover the spread in every game. It's going to be sensational.
All
right, yeah, we'll find our way. So you know what? I think just talk. Sorry,
I said, look at the Warriors. They're fine.
Yeah, they're doing great. They'll be fine. All right, I think I just talked myself into Draymond, actually. Connor, we got a few more for you at the other side of this break, but I got to talk people's ear off about some protein bars. But not just any protein bar. We're talking Built Bar. Yes, the best protein bar in the game. It's a protein bar so good that you are going to feel like you are eating a delicious candy bar. They say that right there in front of me. The ad copy says, hey, say it tastes as good as a candy bar, but I'm going to shoot you straight. These taste better than a candy bar. We're talking flavors like churro, peanut butter brownie, coconut almond. There are so many flavors. You're going to find at least one that you absolutely love at Built.com. You're also going to love how they make you feel. Most of these guys are just loaded with 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, and yet a whopping 17 grams of protein. You're not going to feel weighed down. This isn't the protein bar that's loaded with like 40 grams of sugar or anything crazy like that. No, they got your taste buds feeling all right. They have your body feeling all right. And they're going to have your schedule feeling all right. Because, hey, let's say you're out and about. You are at Walmart. You're at Sam's Club. Guess what? Built Bar is now there as well. So not only can you get them at Built.com, but you can get them at your local Walmart or Sam's Club. That's right. Just go to the pharmacy section. Grab yourself a box of Built Bars. We're talking cookies and cream, double chocolate, coconut puffs, or, hey, just do it the old-fashioned way at Built.com. Any way you can get your hand on a Built Bar, do so because you will be feeling great with Built Bar. Now let's get Connor Muldowney back in the mix here. Connor, let's go to the football field. You're a State fan, right? Big Michigan State football fan?
Love them.
Okay. Do you love first-row seats on the 50-yard line, Connor?
I would take that.
Okay. Well, that's great. I got good news for you. I'm going to give you first-row seats on the 50-yard line for the upcoming Michigan State football season, Connor. But every time Michigan State is on the road this year and Michigan is home, you have to attend the Big House wearing a Kari Crump jersey in the same seats, first row on the 50-yard line. So no Saturdays off here just because MSU is on the road. Okay, well, you got to go down to Ann Arbor and wear the jersey of their favorite player over there. Do you accept the 7 games of great seats for the misery the other Saturdays where Michigan is home? Yeah, you like that one?
That's a good one. I don't think I'd take that. I don't think I'd do that one. Yeah, I think like I love going to Michigan State games and everything. Don't get me wrong.
Yo, sure.
I don't know if I could. First of all, own a Kari Crump jersey would be a tough look.
Aggressive. Yeah.
Very aggressive for a 50-yard line Michigan State fan at every. But then the little brother thing comes back and it's just like here. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not.
So just being like me, a plebeian, 50 rows up in section 16, you'd rather just do that than be miserable.
Yes, absolutely.
Does it change, Connor, if I've looked at both schedules and actually there's just one Saturday where Michigan State is on the road and Michigan is at home? Because that one Saturday, Michigan State is in Piscataway and then Michigan hosts Indiana. You just have to do this once for the other 7 games to be first row at the 50-yard line. Do you have the worst Saturday of your entire life for 7 other pretty good Saturdays, ideally?
God, you know how bad a Michigan-Indiana game sounds? Like, that sounds awful.
Oh, yeah. Horrible.
And then wearing a Kari Crump jersey.
Tough.
Oh, man. Can I barter for I don't know. I'm trying to think of another player. I don't know. I feel like that's still kind of a no. I feel like it's kind of a no.
Yeah.
I'm writing that Saturday for months.
I know there are people out there that are saying like, oh, no doubt I can handle one Saturday. Like those are people that are comfortable being the villain, but like that is truly going to be your worst Saturday on the calendar, unless you just absolutely love that sort of attention. You just feed off of it. But yeah, that'd be tough.
I can't do that. What about you? No. Would you do that?
I don't think I can. Obviously, I'm not one to shy away from putting a barb into their sides, but to do that for like a full day in probably a jersey that's not going to go over well.
Probably not.
No, and I never want to go to the big house in general. Like I'm on the record saying, like, if someone offered me free tickets to go to a Michigan State at Michigan game, like I'm never saying yes. Like I'm never going to that stadium. So like just to do it, and like look, I like my people. I like being up there in the 50th row in section 16 and 17. Like that's where I feel comfortable. Like I might get some imposter syndrome if I'm that close to the field, being like, I don't know, these guys look like they donate a lot of money, and I don't know. I feel a little uncomfortable.
I have a butt scenario for you. Kind of the same. Yeah. I'll throw it back at you. Yeah.
Please do. Okay.
You probably weren't ready for this. It's kind of the same kind of situation. You get first row seats on the 50-yard line at state games. Mm-hmm. But you have to, every game, you have to wear a Tom Mars law firm shirt that just promotes Tom Mars front and back, Tom Mars hat, and then, when anybody asks you about it, you have to like glow.
Yeah, great guy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's your scenario.
I think so. All 7 home games have to do this. I think I will. I will. Because it's pretty inside baseball to like get the Tom Mars connection. But don't get me wrong, like it is not lost that a few dozen people will say something and give me some weird looks, like not a state jersey, but a Tom Mars jersey.
You could get swung on by a drunken,
God, that's true. I'm going to roll the dice, but I might be changing my mind after the Richmond game. Like after 2 weeks, and it's like, oh God, I've really underestimated how popular this Tom Mars guy is and how fired up people are about him. I don't know. So right now, I would like an out clause in this contract. But yeah, I'll take it right now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why not?
That's tough. I wouldn't do that, I don't think.
Yeah. God, it is tough because the people that do know Tom Mars, the guy that represented the Michigan players from the tunnel incident, like if you are that in tune to Michigan State where you know who Tom Mars is, odds are you're going to be pretty passionate and maybe vocal, and at the very most extreme, just like you said, maybe physical too. But I'm going to find out at the Central game and the Richmond game and just go on from there, I think. So that's it.
Once it starts getting colder and people start getting crankier.
Yeah. The weather's not going to help me in any way, shape, or form here. Connor, I got one more here. And this is an easy one. Look, Michigan State makes the college football playoff. They don't win. They actually lose as heavy favorites, but they make the college football playoff. Would you like to see that happen this upcoming year?
Yeah, sure.
Who wouldn't? It's a great place to be. But, Connor, your offensive coordinator gets fired after police raid his house for some computer issue. It could be anything, changing players' grades. I have no idea what it is. They might never tell us what it is. Hypothetically, of course. Your athletic director may have been kidnapped and is housed in a bunker somewhere in Afghanistan, for all we know. You haven't heard from him in months. And also, your head coach is just begging to leave the school on signing day of all days. Again, complete hypothetical. Connor, would you take this?
This seems so outlandish that I don't think it would ever happen.
It seems preposterous that any of this would happen and that anyone can keep up with this. But
absolutely, that's crazy talk.
You get a college football playoff though. So
well, does my head coach eventually get turned down by the NFL and has to force to come back?
Depends who you listen to. If you want to listen to reasonable people, correct. Like it's just because he wasn't even invited in the first place. But if you want to listen to state media, no, he actually is coming back for a second time after doing this whole sauna dance because he loves it so much. He loves it so much. He's been trying to leave for the last 2 or 3 calendar years, but just comes back. So it really is however you want to interpret it, because facts don't matter anymore.
Impossible scenario, first of all. I've never
all hypothetical. I was up late at night just trying to come up with zany ideas, and this is what I came up with.
Jay Johnson gets fired. I feel like
fired in a very undescript raid that happened at his house. Just computers.
I haven't been looking forward to the day that he got fired or anything. So I don't know. Okay. I feel like I would. I don't know, because then everybody's talking about how your coach wants to leave, and you're like, no, he loves it here. He's staying.
Loves it.
He he said that he might come back for sure. Like he closed the door on the NFL, but then he wanted to leave again. I don't know. That would drive me nuts, honestly, as a fan. I would take a college football playoff and possibly a new offensive coordinator, but
okay, all right.
I don't know if I could live with my coach every single year trying to leave and being turned down and trying to leave again and being turned down. I don't know. That would drive me nuts. So I don't know. I don't know what my answer is. I think I take it just because like I'm a sucker and I would take any success for in the moment and then regret it later. But yeah.
I think you know what? Like I will come clean. Like I think I would still take it. Like it is a college football playoff at the end of the day. But like wow, that's not like a slow deflation of a balloon after that. Like that's just like a pop. Like oh my god, we just lost to this TCU team. Like what incarnation? Then okay, we're just gonna do another round of Zoom calls for any and every NFL team possible. We got charges left and right. We have level 1 violations going on. Why are there unmarked cars outside of Jay Johnson's house? Like what? Like so yeah. At the end of the day, though, you still get the college football playoff hoodie, and I'm a sucker for that. So yeah. Why not? Why not take the short-term benefit for the long-term misery?
I guess it is kind of crazy that we've just never heard anything of why this guy had, computer security laws broken. I don't know. It just feels like
they.
So weird. If it was Michigan State, like front page, like Paul Levine would have been living in East Lansing for the next year. It would have been.
Oh. Paula would have been in the backseat of the squad car, hammering out a 1,500-word column. Whatever. I digress. But yeah, I don't know. So again, all hypotheticals. Yeah,
all hypothetical. Never would happen in a million years to any program, respectable program.
No, not the leaders and the best. No, of course not. Please, don't be ridiculous, Connor. Well, this was fun. I always have a hoot and a half with you, man. I'm sorry it's been so long. We were talking before camera. I'm just horrible at bookkeeping and like keeping track of when guests have been on or whatnot. I thought Connor was on like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I looked at it and it was like months. I'm like, oh my god, he thinks I hate him, and he probably hates me in return. But hey, here we are. We had 30 minutes of fun. Oh, thank God.
I'm sorry you couldn't land Mel Tucker again, and I had to be the choice.
It's like, you were the 15th person in the Rolodex I had to call. I was like, oh, fine, I guess I'll just give him a ring after getting my number blocked by everyone with a 517 area code. But, that's the name of the business, rejection. So, but you didn't reject me. The listeners haven't rejected listening this far. I imagine listening this long into this podcast, Connor. That'd be absolutely positively crazy.
There's only one way we could get people to prove that they listened this far.
Go on. Give us the random word, Connor. Let's go. Fire it up. What do you got for us? I know. Man. Make it count.
Let's go. Oh, man. I don't know. I need a little help here. I need a little push. Let's go.
Unmarked car. Unmarked car. Yeah. Tweet at me or Connor, unmarked car. And you're not going to win anything. If anything, it's going to be a cry for help to let us know that you've listened now 33 minutes into this episode here. But generally cannot thank you guys enough. And Connor, especially you, man, always a hoot and a half talking with you. Cannot thank you enough. Anything you want to plug or say to the listeners here before we sign off for the day?
Not just check me out at SpartanShadows.com. It's a relatively new Michigan State site. We're trying to grow it, trying to be the best top of the Spartan coverage. So check it out there and go green.
And a go white to you, sir. That's right. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to round out signing day with Stephen Brooks of 24/7 Sports. We're going to talk some football, some basketball. We're going to talk content because that's what we do here in Locked On Spartans 5 days a week. But until then, love you all. Go green.